These are 10 fascinating psychological facts about people who are shy or reserved. We all know someone who tends to keep to themselves. This individual doesn't make much of an effort to be recognized and doesn't say very much. Perhaps they are a member of your family or your circle of friends. On the other hand, it's possible that you simply recognize them from around the neighborhood. Who knows, maybe it's you. But in spite of the fact that most people believe that being outgoing and loud is the greatest way to make friends and achieve success, and that being more reserved is sometimes considered as a sign of social incompetence, there is a lot more to reserved people than you might think there is. Let's have a look at some fascinating psychological facts about the quiet types so that you may better understand these people and maybe even learn a thing or two about yourself in the process. First and foremost, they don't always have to be timid. It's natural to think that someone who doesn't speak much must be timid. And although while this is correct a lot of the time, it is not always the case. It's a given that folks who prefer to keep to themselves don't like to be the center of attention. They could even go out of their way to avoid being the focus of attention because of how important it is to them. Nonetheless, this does not imply that they are timid. They are capable of being pleasant, doing well in social situations, and taking pleasure in conversation with those they feel at ease with, despite the fact that they prefer to speak less and listen more. It's possible that quiet people have a lot going on in their heads, but they don't always feel comfortable discussing their thoughts or feelings with other people. Number 2, they have an exceptionally loyal attitude. Those who like to keep to themselves do not enjoy acting superficially for the sole purpose of expanding their circle of friends. Because they place a higher value on quality than quantity, it may take some time and effort to become close to them. They have very few genuine friends with whom they can fully connect with as a result of the difficulty with which they must win their confidence. As a result, the development of a close relationship is cause for celebration. In point of fact, faithfulness is one of their fundamental principles. They are extremely adept at concealing information and will never betray your trust in any way. The third point is that they do not necessarily feel angry or depressed. Those who don't make a lot of noise are sometimes misunderstood and assumed to be angry or melancholy by those around them. Although this may be the case for some people, it is not always the case for people who prefer to keep a low profile. Because they are more introverted and find that social interactions exhaust them, it's possible that they only need to get away from other people for a time so that they may refuel their energy reserves by being alone themselves. They find it quite relaxing to be by oneself for extended periods of time so that they can think about their lives and gain wisdom from their experiences without having to justify or explain their choices to others. They are inquisitive, self-reliant, and extremely self-motivated, which is the fourth trait. Those who are more reserved tend to have a greater capacity for curiosity, which compels them to seek out new experiences and information. They are more self-reliant and motivated by their own initiative. So, they have a greater chance of achieving their objectives. These individuals do not require anyone to instruct them on what they should do or when they should do it. Because they enjoy being in charge of their own destinies, they choose to be their own bosses and work independently. Those who prefer to keep to themselves tend to be more innovative and creative. This is due to the fact that they devote a significant amount of their time to contemplating topics that the majority of people do not give much thought to. Fifth, they frequently exhibit a high degree of sensitivity and empathy toward others. If you were to find that quiet people are more likely to be highly sensitive and compassionate than their louder counterparts, you might be taken aback by this information. This is due to the fact that they are more likely to have a powerful emotional reaction to the things they experience. They are more likely to cry when watching sad movies and to become quickly upset. Yet, this does not imply that they are more likely to act irrationally when angered or that they are more easily offended by the words of others. Simply put, they have a heightened awareness of their own emotions in comparison to those around them. Those who are more reserved typically have the ability to empathize with others, to comprehend their thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and to connect with others through the common ground of their experiences. People are rarely bored, despite the fact that they may appear to be so when they are quiet. Tip number 6. They do not necessarily appear to be bored. They could be considering anything that could be quite interesting for them to ponder about at the moment. Or, it's possible that they are content with the hush and are concentrating on what's going on in the area. In addition to this, because they are active listeners, they are able to pay attention to a discussion or occurrence without feeling the need to instantly interject with their own thoughts or opinions. Also, persons who are more reserved benefit from gaining energy and focus from participating in solo activities. They have a vibrant inner life as well, so they don't require the same level of stimulation from the outside world that others do in order to feel whole. Seventhly, they have a heightened sense of self-awareness. Those who are reserved and unassuming are at ease with themselves. So much so, in fact, that they have no trouble expressing themselves in a manner that is genuine. Because of this quality, they are honest not only with themselves but also with other people. Due to the fact that they have a strong grasp on how they feel about various issues, these individuals do not second-guess themselves. They have no trouble communicating to people when they feel the need for a change or when something in their lives has reached a point where it is no longer beneficial to them, and they have the guts to really implement those changes. In addition, those who are naturally reserved are drawn to opportunities that will allow them to develop both personally and professionally. And because of this quest for personal development, they are even more self-aware as individuals who value ongoing progress. The eighth reason is that they are more emotionally stable. Those who are generally reserved tend to be emotionally stable. This indicates that they are more likely to have a good attitude on life and are better able to cope with stress. This is due to the fact that they are quite skilled at keeping their feelings under control. In addition to this, they tend to have a lower level of reactiveness than the ordinary individual. They are able to take in information without being overly influenced by it or leaping to conclusions based solely on what someone else says because of their ability to speak up when necessary and allow others to talk without interrupting or judging them. This ability allows them to speak up for themselves when necessary. As a result of this, these people are more suited to deal with challenging situations and can more easily resolve problems. The ninth reason is that they are more patient. Those who keep to themselves seem to have more patience than those who are outgoing and talkative. When a scenario plays out, they are more likely to hold off on forming an opinion or choosing a course of action until it has fully played out before doing so. Their capacity to concentrate on the here and now and take care of one issue at a time is the source of their extraordinary patience. Those who are more reserved are less likely to dive headfirst into novel situations, which enables them to pay closer attention to the world around them in the here and now rather of letting their minds wander off into ideas about the past or the future. As a consequence of this, they have greater patience when it comes to dealing with issues as they come up, and they are less inclined to make fast judgments or conclusions based on an emotional response. They are very perceptive and retentive, which brings us to point number 10. Those who are more reserved have a greater capacity for paying attention to and recalling minute particulars. This is because they are aware of their surroundings, pay close attention to what is going on around them, and listen attentively. They have a good memory and can recall facts fast. They frequently remember what others say and do. Those who are more reserved tend to be excellent problem solvers because they spend more time contemplating the implications of various scenarios before deciding what steps should be taken next. It is clear that quiet people have a great deal of nuance and complication, and rather than criticizing them, we would all do well to have an understanding of their experiences and perspectives. Keep in mind that there may be more to a person's personality than initially meets the eye the next time you find yourself in the company of someone who is unassuming and silent. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and discuss it with your friends so that we can continue to make more like it. Click the subscribe button to receive notifications of new videos like this one, and be sure to also check the notification bell button. Additionally, make sure you check out some of the other videos that we have on our channel.